Good evening. Today I want to talk about one of the world's largest companies. This company was started by Thomas Alva Edison, one of my favorite characters. All the great Edison successes were rolled into this company, and this company, which started as electricity company, became one of the largest conglomerates in the world. For a long time, this company was considered one of the best. The man who ran this company once upon a time, Jack Welch, was called Neutron Jack. He kept on accumulating companies, and this company, which started off with Edison, finally started doing everything. It started giving electricity to cities. It sold you appliances such as washing machines and televisions. It held a news television channel. It also financed you when you wanted to buy a house. Basically, GE did everything for everybody. Along the way, it also had a huge healthcare company, invented the MRI machine. It also started making jet engines and jet engines which supplied both to Boeing and Airbus. So you had a company like the Zaibustus of the Japanese conglomerates before Second World War who did everything from top to bottom. And all these businesses were held together in one company. The biggest and most profits at that time was coming from GE Capital, which was basically a bank. Long after Jack Welch stepped down, his protege Jeff Immelt took over. And then what happened is, then the 2008 crisis struck. When the 2008 crisis struck, GE Capital was hit extremely badly. It almost sunk the entire group. At one time, Warren Buffett lent it money at very hugely favorable terms. It had to borrow from Warren Buffett at the rate of 10% per year for 5 years with optionally convertible shares. And because Buffett bailed out GE at that time, there was a talk that one day Warren Buffett would acquire GE. But maybe GE was too big and Warren did not want to touch it. So after 2008, the companies started to downsize. The company started to downsize rapidly. The NBC, their news arm, which was one of the big four network televisions in America was sold to Comcast. The appliances division was sold to a Chinese rival. So GE became a Chinese brand. GE washing machines and other appliances were sold to a television brand. The banks was watered down. In fact, not only Jeffrey Immelt and the man who came after him, John Flanny, also continued with the sales. He sold the locomotive engine division. GE was the biggest manufacturer of locomotives. These are railway engines which haul the huge railway line networks. In America, freight rail is a big thing, and GE locomotives dominated the market. And he also kept selling bits and pieces of the financial businesses to bring it down. Then, when Flannery could not succeed, they had to bring an outsider, Mr. Culp. And Mr. Culp sold a pharma company, that is basically GE Life Sciences, for $22 billion. GE also had aircraft leasing company. Basically, what they did was they would supply jet engines to Boeing and Airbus, and the purchaser of the aircrafts, if he bought a plane fitted with GE engine, was financed by an aircraft leasing company called GCAS. Even GCAS was sold out, and with all that, he reduced debt, raised cash flow, and started to increase dividends. In spite of all this, the share price has not gone up much. The company was worth $600 billion in the year 2000, and all of us believed that GE would be the first company to become $1 trillion company. That was not to be, and GE started to collapse from there. Today, GE is worth only $120 billion. Investors prefer today a simplified structure. A healthcare investor will not invest in GE, would prefer only to invest in a healthcare company, even though GE is a big healthcare company. Somebody who wants to invest in utilities or companies which are supplying to utilities would invest only in a utilities company. And finally, those who want to do the Jet aircraft engine and other allied businesses would only invest in such companies. So finally, the board of GE got together and decided that they have to split the companies. The split would start by 2023, when healthcare would be spun off into a separate company, and GE will still retain 20% in that company, but the rest of the stock would be floated, and the healthcare company would issue long-term debentures to pay down GE debt, and basically GE will detach itself from that company with 20% of it, with 20% stake. Then the utilities and business will also be spun off into a separate company, and what would be left, that is the jet air engine businesses and the other allied businesses, would remain in GE. A new CEO has been brought in to run the healthcare division, and he would run the healthcare division. Basically, this decision has been forced upon GE by the investors who want a simplified structure. This ends a page in business history because GE is the last of the big conglomerates to be there. The market does not reward such large companies anymore, and investors prefer a simplified investment structure. What it also teaches us is what is good today may not be good in the future. For I remember GE being one of the largest investors in India and Jack Welch being feted by everybody as if he was the great management guru. But all it did was, when the going was good and money was cheap, GE Capital was giving him the results and the profits, and the other weaknesses and problems in GE were hid. Once the 2008 crisis came, GE was exposed completely. And these three, that is Jeffrey Immelt, Flannery, and Mr. Culp, had to work towards selling this company, though nobody expected that they would split the company into three. Anyway, it's an end of an era in the world of business. Thank you for watching. Be rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification. नमस्कार, मेरा नाम आनंद श्रीनिवासन है और मैं एक पर्सनल फाइनेंस कंसल्टेंट हूँ। मैं 2 यूट्यूब चैनल चलाता हूँ पर्सनल फाइनेंस के बारे में। एक मनी पेज तमिल में है। मेरे बहुत से दोस्त बोले कि मैं हिंदी में एक चैनल शुरू करूं, तो मैंने एक पैसा बोलता है नाम का एक हिंदी चैनल शुरू किया है। मैं पर्सनल निवेश के बारे में ही बात करूंगा। आप उसको सब्सक्राइब करें, अपने दोस्तों को शेयर करें। अगर आप हिंदी नहीं जानते हैं तो पैसा करें। जो आपके दोस्त हिंदी जानते हैं उनको सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए आग्रह करें। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।